today we've lost a great man, certainly a giant in Labor politics. And for many of us, myself included, not only an inspiration but very reason why we took an interest in Labor politics. A man who actually was probably the first major figure, I think, to understand not only the social, cultural, infrastructure needs of a developing community. So, look, Gough's presence was immense. His legacy is great, and in my electorate, things such as fundamental things such as provisioning of a reticulated sewer is attributed to Gough throughout Liverpool and in Campbelltown. Now, these are things that certainly a lot of people probably don't remember, but when I meet with many people in their retirement homes, they certainly relay those conversations to me.
So how did he fire your interest in politics? Look,
well, getting at that stage, I was given the opportunity to, through Gough to be able to get to university. His interest in opening up Australia, particularly into China. He's broadening a lot of the fundamental things that we take for granted in this country, health, for instance, education. These are things which were pretty revolutionary in coming from his background, which was very much. We probably thought at one stage was very much of a highly educated person, which he was, but he never lost sight of the need for people.
Now, you met him on several occasions. How did you find him, meeting him in person?
Look, well, I remember the very first meeting with him. He didn't go all that well. I don't think he saw me as the logical replacement for his legacy in Werriwa. But I used to meet with him about every 6 months, and it was just a good way for me to stay in touch and take advice. Whether it was always used or not, I'm not quite sure, but the man always had a direct interest in the outer metropolitan areas of Sydney. He saw this was the growth centres that was occurring there. He had an enormous impact on the way life developed in outer metropolitan Sydney.
He still has a big role in Labor mythology. I'll just let you turn that phone off.
I am very sorry about that.
That's all right. A big role in Labor mythology, but he wasn't without flaws, was he?
Look, it's probably not for me to go into his flaws. As I say, he was a giant in Labor politics, and from my position at that stage, a person was able to influence not only Labor politicians and direction, but a whole community. He fired the imagination that Australia can achieve in a major competitive world that we're in. And I think they're things that will be a lasting legacy to his efforts. And
still relevant today?
Absolutely.
And how do you think Labor should continue that legacy?
Well, for instance, the opening up the issue of trade, I think, was pretty fundamental. Being the first Western leader to visit China, to broker international relations as he did, we are all the beneficiaries of that now.